We should have seized all Saudi Arabian assets in this country, declared war on Saudi Arabia, rounded up every one of their citizens living in our country and executed them on public television, and then fired multiple nuclear warheads at that country.
Okay, we are back with another review video of a review video done by, of course, our favorite drama queen, Jason Blaha. And in this video, he reviews Mike Thurston and Matt Does Fitness and their video of bodybuilders try the US Army fitness test without practice. So we're going to have a little look at this in a minute, yeah, just see what they get up to, because they're trying the Army fitness test. And of course, because it's two sort of younger men, muscular, very toned and athletic looking, of course, that puts it on the radar of the glory hole king, Jason Blaha. All right, so this is his video review of their video. Bodybuilders, Matt, yeah, okay, they try the Army physical test. So that's his video. We're going to review his video. But first, let's see the video that he is reviewing. So we just have a little watch of this. Yep, just have a little watch of this. There we go. Oh.
I really need to fart. if you fart now, this challenge is over. I'm telling you right now. I will let go and walk off.
Alright, so that is a little taste of the video, and then they're getting into the push-ups, the sit-ups, the running, and all that sort of stuff. Alright, so we can, you get the idea. So let's see what our little residents... Look at his eyebrow. And the coffee cup's back as well. And the Superman t-shirt, of course. It's looking very, very unwashed, let's say that. Anyway, so let's see what our resident glory hole hunter has to say.
Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. I'm just sitting here drinking my morning coffee. And fuck this faggot. Proof that that's real coffee, I get accused of lying about things like...
Looks like gravy. He's drinking gravy. Look at that. Oh, I don't know. Everything about him is wrong, isn't it? Everything. Even the simple act of drinking coffee. You know? People even think he's a fake coffee drinker. Anyway, let's get going.
I get accused of lying about things like that. Real coffee in my cup. It is 6 in the morning. And it's time to talk about current events in the online fitness community. And those of you who like these type of videos, please remember to click like down below. I had someone link me last night. I was checking it out this morning. They linked a video that Maddie Does Fitness about 2 bodybuilders trying the Army physical fitness test unprepared. Now, I always find that sort of thing interesting because one of the things that I point out to you guys all the time, a lot of bodybuilders are not actually in shape. That you can't always look at a person and tell if they are actually in shape or not. What do you mean by in shape?
Well, we can tell that you're not in shape just by looking at you. We can tell a lot just by looking at you. You look ill. You look sick. You know, you don't look well. So we can tell a lot by just looking at you. A book can be judged by its cover. And this book looks not worth reading.
Shape, total conditioning, strength, mobility, all this stuff. And it's interesting that he got Mike Thurston on there because I had said in a video about the leg training and squatting a couple weeks back that Mike Thurston actually isn't really in good shape. And I mean that from
Mike Thurston isn't in good shape. Jason Blaha is. But Mike Thurston isn't. No, you can't judge a book by its cover, guys. You know, he's not in good shape. Where does this guy come from? Jason Blaha's in great shape. There are so many fantastic, absolutely insane ments in this video. It might take a while.
From a lifting perspective, you know, that he's not particularly strong, he doesn't have good mobility, any of this stuff. And this is one of the problems that we have with the whole bodybuilding thing, is that people don't understand. A lot of times bodybuilders, particularly when they are most conditioned, they have no conditioning. When they are most in shape, they are the most out of shape. It's this interesting contradiction in their world. It's kind of fascinating to behold. And
see, he's actually heard something, and he's kept it as gospel. Mike Thurston isn't ready to go on stage in a bodybuilding show. He's got very lean. He's very lean and all that sort of stuff. Very low body fat. But what this person is trying to say, that he's remembered from hearing or reading or Googling somewhere, is obviously when a bodybuilder goes on stage, they are so dry and dehydrated, just like a fighter weighing in. If you watched the weigh-ins yesterday for UFC, Khabib and Dustin Poirier, Khabib looked fucked. He looked so ill because he's been on diuretics. He's been getting all the water out of him just so he can weigh in for 155. And that fight is today, and I can't wait for it. And hopefully, Justin, he smashes the Khabib. Anyway, so this is what he's saying. He's saying he's trying to say when a bodybuilder goes on stage, he is so dry and dehydrated and weak because of that he might look strong, but he's as weak as a kitten. I've heard that. Everyone knows that when they go on stage. But we're not talking about that, Blaha. But Blaha thinks that is the way it is for everyone and everything, and if you're a bodybuilder, that's how you are all the time, because he doesn't have a clue about anything. But the ments just keep flowing in this. I'll get cracking.
And so when I see a pair of bodybuilders actually go do something athletic related to actually kind of see where their overall fitness is, I'm not necessarily saying that this is the best judge of it, because there's a lot of different ways we can judge fitness, and a lot of people aren't necessarily a fan of the Army standard that's there. Even the Army's not. I believe the Army is changing its standard, or already has. They have a whole series of tests that are replacing this now that do look a lot more at strength and carrying capacity and things like that. Right? What's your encumbrance, bro? So, gamer reference.
Gamer reference. Look at his smug little face. Oh my God, you just want to... my God, wouldn't you want to do something to that face? Anyway.
I will fucking end you.
Gamer reference, and then he sits there looking like this. 42 years old.
I think it's interesting when that happens. Now, Matty Does Fitness actually passed it. Was he exhausted? Did he get a great score? No, he didn't get a particularly good score on anything, but he actually passed it. So, I mean, I'm going to give props for that. You know, I mean, if we're going to knock someone successfully doing something that they set out to do and passing, it's not something we would knock someone over, right? That's not reasonable.
So this little cuck is talking about these two guys that are obviously in shape doing the fitness test, which consists of sit-ups, a certain amount of sit-ups in X amount of time, a certain amount of push-ups, running in under X amount of time. So it's all time related. It's pushing out, pushing up push-ups. Turn this terrible music down. So they're doing push-ups. All right, they've got to throw some things or something. I don't know exactly what's involved, but here are the sit-ups. Yeah. Now, Jason Blaha thinks he is fit because he can do like 3 really crappy exercises in his room. The big 3! With fake weights, you know? Jason Blaha, in a minute, he talks about running. He goes, I don't run, guys. I don't run. I'm 40. I'm over 40, and I'll blow my knees out. He's got excuse after excuse as to why he couldn't do this. We've never seen Jason Blaha do a sit-up or any sort of stomach exercise in his life. That is why his midsection looks so terrible. I tell you, if he took a blow to the stomach, he would be on the floor for probably an hour. I mean, if he got kicked or punched in the midsection, in the stomach or liver, he would be on the floor for an hour. His core is weaker than a little girl's. I mean it. And he's there talking about these 2 guys saying they are out of shape. I mean, where does this guy get off? These 2 guys that are just doing the army test. Matt does fitness, he passes, and Mike Thurston does everything, including the run, but he fails to do enough sit-ups in the specific amount of time. It's something like 40 in 3 minutes, something like that. I don't know what the exact test is, but they pass it. They do everything, including the run, but Mike Thurston just fails slightly on the sit-ups, which is amazing when you look at him, because his core and ab strength looks pretty phenomenal. His stomach looks very developed, but he just fails on the sit-up test. And then you've got this thing sitting there gloating.
I trained at the farm at Langley. Anyone who knows what that is knows
Mike
that.
failed the test. Just take. I mean, I can't understand. Oh my God, it frustrates me to hell that you've got this little man sitting in a closet wearing the same clothes day in and day out, doing really obscure, crappy smoke and mirrors chain exercises and band exercises because he can't use real weights. And he's got a load of fake plates in there as well. And he is talking about these 2 guys training, saying that they are not in shape. Can you understand what this is? What's going on here? It's just beyond bizarre that this man is so unhinged that he can say these things with a straight face.
The fact that he has someone who doesn't really do cardio or conditioning past it, I'll give credit where credit is due, man. I'll give props to him. I actually legitimately thought, and I'll be honest here, I legitimately thought he was going to fail it. I thought he was going to fail the whole test because he's a bodybuilder. That's usually reason enough to say someone's not in shape. And that shows how biased we can be about people.
That just shows the lack of understanding and knowledge you have about fitness and training or anything physical. Because you're only doing it now in the last 5 years of your life. You were never a bodybuilder. You were never an athlete of any sort. It doesn't matter what you say. You never were. Proof is easy to come by if you've had an athletic background.
Right? That shows my personal bias, and I admit that I was biased. I walked into that and laughed and said, he's going to fail it because he's a bodybuilder. Bodybuilders are out of shape as a general rule. Because that's my bias. I just assume by default when I see a bodybuilder, they're nothing but drugs and synthol and genetics. And
so it gives you a little insight there. Drugs, synthol, and genetics. Well, we saw the pictures of when he was a bodybuilder posing in his pants, those very dodgy pictures where he's sort of doing all this bodybuilding poses, and he's got his thin, balding sort of hair, and he looks like crap, and you can see all the synthol sites. It was when he was geared up as well, taking loads of gear. And genetics, where he mentions genetics, of course we've got to bring that in because he's got the worst genetics on YouTube.
And that they have no fitness at all, zero. It's just my personal bias from observing them over the years. I've met bodybuilders who are in phenomenal shape and strong and conditioned and everything. I've met some, they're there.
So he just contradicts himself. So he just says, bodybuilders, they're not in shape, they're not strong, they're not... And now he says he's met some. Instant flip-flop.
Fuck this
Instant
gay for pay
flip-flop from
faggot.
the
Fuck him.
8-buck Cuck K9 killer.
You're the exception now. But Matt passed it. He actually passed the Army fitness test, right? The entire military has to pass it. He passed it. So credit where credit is due. And I don't think Matty, I don't know his age, but I know he's not like 22, 23. He's not a super young dude. I'd have to look up his exact age. So he passed it though, man. I'll give credit. He's in shape. He's in shape. Now, a lot of people would say, well, I would expect a bodybuilder with a big chest and everything to hit perfect scores. It's like, well, why would you? You know, people are making that assumption that because people use a bunch of gear to get big and maybe don't even always know how to train, maybe don't train that hard. I don't actually know how Matty trains personally. I think I saw something on it a while back. I don't know how he trains. I really don't.
Obviously, he trains better than you do because his results speak for themselves. If we're comparing these two guys to you, the results speak for themselves. So someone in this trio doesn't know how to train because, excuse me, because if we look at them and we look at you, we look at them and we look at you. Let's try and find a nice, if there is such a thing, a nice picture of you. There you go. I mean, come on, we know what you look like. And we know what they look like. You know, so if we're saying someone in this trio doesn't know how to train, then we can kind of point the finger over here. You haven't got a clue. How can he even suggest that he knows what he's doing? I mean, look at this.
The best of both worlds. We need everything.
I mean, it's just
so we did the
vile.
Today, 9x5.
Look at it. I mean, this guy just looks like he's never stepped foot in a gym.
And fuck this faggot.
I mean, he really does. He looks like, look at the arms. I mean, he looks like he's never been in a gym. He really, you can't even, it's beyond imagination. Look at this guy.
So, all I can do is keep working on it. Keep working on
it. It's so poor. There's no muscle anywhere. There's little bits. But everyone has muscle, otherwise they wouldn't be able to move their body. But there's no muscle development. This is why I come back to the fake weights. Because he's so small. And he is telling us that these guys are in bad shape. I mean, what is going on?
You assume they're going to be in shape. Well, that's not how this works, guys. Again, bodybuilding is largely about illusion. It's usually, again, created with substances, genetics, things like that. On the other hand, Mike Thurston failed it. He actually failed the test. He couldn't pass the Army fitness test. And we'll come back over to the point that I've kind of said in the past. He's not in shape. Now.
He keeps a straight face when he says this guy's not in shape. But he thinks he is. I tell you what, could this guy... Comments, please. Write it in the comments. Do you think Jason Blaha could pass an Army fitness test of any sort? Do you think he could do anything? He thinks jumping up on a box is dynamic. He thinks doing little sort of weird, slow, lethargic step-ups on a bench is training dynamically, explosively. The guy is an absolute fraud and a moron.
Back he failed on sit-ups.
I will fucking end you.
But it was interesting. I thought he would fail the running. He passed the running. Now, 4 people jump up and say, Jason, why don't you do this? First of all, guys, I'm in my 40s and I'm a power lifter.
So why don't you do this, Jason? I'm in my 40s. I'm a powerlifter. What? So you can't be fit in your 40s? You can't pass this test in your 40s. I guarantee you, you can. I'm 47, Jason, and it wouldn't take me long to be able to train to do that. It'd take me about 3 months and I'd be able to pass that fitness test. Yeah. In fact, I might challenge myself. My girlfriend is talking about doing a Tough Mudder, just a 5K Tough Mudder event in next year, about 6-7 months away. So that is what I've got in the back of my mind, and I want to get fit. It's always good to have a focus and a goal. I want to get fit. These are my goals for in a couple of. I'm sharing this now, so once I share them, I've got to stick to them. We're going to try and do the Tough Mudder in next year. Before the end of this year, I'm going to get my third Dan. Yeah, third Dan. I've done all the theory for it. Now I've got to fight for it. And every fight you win, you get 10 points. You need 100 points, and then you get your third Dan, right? So that's where we're pushing. So I'm going to get back on the mat very soon and really start training hard. I've already started training with some weights just to get my strength back for the judo. Got to cut some fat because I'm carrying a lot of fat at the minute. So I've got to cut that down, but that'll just drop off quite quickly once I start training, especially when I start doing the judo. So yeah, these are my tasks and my goals that I'm setting myself. And it would take me, and in fact, maybe I'll even do that when I'm fit enough for the Tough Mudder, and I've been doing a few competitions, fighting. Maybe then I'll try and do the fitness test, the British Army fitness test as well. Yeah, I'll try and do that. I hate running as well, just purely because of my size. But I'll try and do that. All right, so they are my challenges I'm putting out there to myself. Yeah, and now I've let all of you guys know as well. But this guy saying he couldn't do it because he's in his 40s. You know, it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. In fact, I'm going to put in now a copy or a page, a screenshot from the Army fitness test to show you that at 40 years old or 40 plus, 50 even, anyone can do it, yeah, if they train for it. And this guy's saying straight away that I'm in my 40s, I can't do it. I'm a power lifter. I mean, it's just more coping. It's more pathetic excuses from someone who isn't fit, who uses fake weights, and is the biggest fake on YouTube.
I've had 4 people jump up and say, Jason, why don't you do this? First of all, guys, I'm in my 40s and I'm a power lifter. I do conditioning. I do probably do more conditioning than they do, but I'm not interested.
So this guy,
And fuck this faggot.
this thing does more conditioning work than these two. So again, down below, please write in the comments, who do you think is more conditioned? This guy? This guy? Or this guy? If it is a guy. Who knows? This guy, I mean, he just... where do you even begin, really? Where do you begin? I told you the ments come flowing in this video. This guy is such an idiot.
Running only because I don't want to beat my knees up. Like, to me, I've had 4 people jump up and say, Jason, why don't you do this? First of all, guys, I'm in my 40s and I'm a power lifter. I do conditioning. I do probably do more conditioning than they do, but I'm not interested in running only because I don't want to beat my knees up. Like, to me, the risk of getting some sort of knee inflammation from running when I haven't been running, just not worth it to me as an athlete. Especially
just soak it up. Soak it up. So running, the risk to his knees is not worth it as an athlete. The ments just keep coming, I promise. stay with me. The ments keep coming.
Of getting some sort of knee inflammation from running when I haven't been running, just not worth it to me as an athlete, especially at my age. Furthermore, people will talk about Army fitness standards. I am actually way above the age limit to enlist in any branch of the armed forces. Not
right. Firstly, he's saying he's above the age of enlistment age for the Army. We're not asking you to enlist. We're asking you to be fit enough to pass the test for entrance. That's all. And a 40 or a 50-year-old man, and I'd even wager there are some 60-year-olds who could pass the Army physical. So that's all we're talking about here. We're not asking you to sign up, yeah? Although you're an ex-mercenary with connections to the Clintons because of your service in the powder wars. You idiot. Yeah, we're not asking you for that. We're just saying, are you fit enough to pass the Army fitness test? And you're clearly not, because the excuses that are flowing out of your mouth right now are showing you to be the biggest fraud on YouTube.
It's not even an option for people in my age group. We're not allowed in, under any circumstance, the armed forces. It's not even an option for people in my age group. We're not allowed in.
No one's asking him to join up. No one's asking him to serve in the military. Because he wouldn't be allowed to anyway, because he's, they wouldn't allow him anywhere near service.
Under any circumstances, in fact, if the draft is re-implemented, I'm outside of the age bracket for a draft. So perspective there, people.
It's nothing to do with perspective, you moron. It's all about, can you pass the fitness test? Are you fit or not? And you are clearly not, because the excuses are just coming out full throttle. Guys, it's so annoying.
Fuck this gay for pay faggot. Fuck him.
Did I used to run? Yeah, I used to run. I used to run 5 miles every morning when I was a runner. But
he was a runner, an obese marathon runner. Morbidly obese marathon runner. Can you imagine that? Wearing a Jedi robe, a big fat obese marathon runner. What's a moron.
I'll be honest, when I became a lifter, I quit running. The first time I got under a barbell, under a squat bar, I never ran again. I've never run again in my entire life after doing that. I quit. I find lifting better. And by that same token, when it comes to something like running, I'm not necessarily a fan of running as good conditioning work. I understand if you have a job that might require you to run, that running is a good idea. Right, you're going to be in the military, you probably need to run. Be a police officer, you probably need to run. Not really necessary for anybody else.
So fitness and being able to run isn't really necessary, especially when your job is sitting on your ass in a closet making videos, when that's your only source of income. Obviously, fake disability benefits, and
I trained at the farm at Langley.
And living,
anyone who knows what that
making
is,
a living on YouTube, $800 a month on YouTube if you're lucky. Yeah, so there's no reason for you to run, Blaha. And you never leave your house, so you're never going to get chased by Muslims. So no need for you to run. Your job certainly doesn't require you to run or do anything. Not even leave the house. Yeah.
It really isn't. We can do other forms of conditioning. In fact, let's talk about strength and conditioning coaches. I've seen Louis Simmons say that when they send him runners to Westside, and he does train runners sometimes, he doesn't have them run. It's like he works.
Of course he doesn't, you idiot. This is again showing the lack of knowledge that this person has. He has no understanding of fitness or training. He says Louis Simmons of Westside barbell club, if he gets runners, he doesn't have them run. No, because he's a strength conditioning coach. Yeah, he's a strength coach. Just like when we have judoka, yeah, judo athletes, Olympic athletes who I train with, they don't go to gyms to do judo. They go to gyms to work out and use weights to get strong for the judo. He is such an idiot. Why would you go to a gym, a weights gym, to run if you're a runner? Why would you go and seek out someone like Louis Simmons to show you how to run when you're already a runner? You go to him for weight training advice, yeah? Something that can give you strength for your main sport. And this is what he is so stupid he can't understand. He thinks everything is about lifting.
Fuck this
Everyone
faggot.
should do lifting. Everyone should do 3 exercises: bench press, deadlift and squat. I mean, he has no understanding of full body training or anything, or fitness or anything. He has no idea.
Works on their strength and he works on their conditioning. He has them do sled drags. He has them box squat. He has them get strong and conditioned, and then usually their run times improve anyways. It's not necessarily run people for that. And so what people need to remember, a lot of strength coaches, when they're dealing with various field athletes who are in great shape, they don't run them.
Of course they don't, because they're strength coaches. They're supplementing their training. Just like fighters, UFC guys, the MMA guys. They train in a gym. They're doing all sorts of cross-training, judo, jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, boxing. And they go to a gym to work out with weights to give themselves extra strength and power. He is so... Oh my God, it's frustrating. He hasn't got a clue. He calls himself a coach. He hasn't got a clue.
So I'm not necessarily a fan of running. I get it though. I understand why the Army does it as a test, and props to these guys for getting out there at heavier body weight and going ahead and doing a run. Just keep in mind, guys, if you don't run normally and you're at a heavier body weight because you do a ton of training or do gear and things like these guys do.
Just to get in there, do gear like these guys do. Like, I've never done gear. I'm so innocent. You're on record saying you love doing gear. We've still got pictures of your gear lab in a bucket, in a bowl, with your silly turkey baster things and little funnels. Very hygienic, and he's sticking that stuff in his arse. Jesus.
Running may not go too well. These guys might have really, really sore knees for the next couple of days. They might be fighting some inflammation now as a result of that little bitty 2-mile run.
Little bitty 2-mile run. See, everything is trying to put them down, saying they're doing gear. You know, they can't run. They're going to have inflamed knees from doing a itty bitty 2-mile run. Everything is to put those guys down. You know, because he's jealous and he's envious that he never looked like this in his 20s or 30s. And he just looks like this. And this is the best he's ever going to get because it's all downhill from a 42-year-old. I mean, he's never looked good, has he? But this is just, you know, he can't run. So he's saying everyone else that tries to run is just going to get injured and hurt. It's just pure coping. It's really, the way his mind works is so disgusting. So jealous and envious of everyone and everything around him because he never leaves the house. And it is just getting worse and worse. His channel is crashing down. He's having to prop it up with fake subs. We know this. Fake weights. Everything. I mean, it's getting worse and worse. And it's fun, you know, to just keep watching. It is one hell of a car crash we're watching. A slow, twisting car crash.
Fuck this gay for pay faggot. Fuck him.
Different world. Different world. But the highlight here was interesting is that all things considered, I would give him props for trying. I'd give him props for doing it on camera. As expected, Mike Thurston didn't pass, and I was surprised that Matty Does Fitness did.
So he's so happy that Mike Thurston didn't pass. Well, I can guarantee 100% Blaha that you wouldn't pass. How about that? You would not pass. Even if we take the running out of it, so you don't damage your delicate little knees. You couldn't do the push-ups. You couldn't do the sit-ups. You couldn't do the carrying. You couldn't do any of it. You would fail. You would be breathing out your ass and having a heart attack if you tried that test, even without the running. I guarantee it.
So, again, the guy is clearly in shape. Now, again, we come over to the point people would say, well, wouldn't you expect them to just blow it out of the water? It's like, no, because they're bodybuilders. Bodybuilders are oftentimes out of shape. But I think it does show that Matty Does Fitness is decently well-rounded, in good shape, probably has a good combination of strength and conditioning, probably has an overall fitness lifestyle in terms of his training. I know there's a lot of discussion about the guy's diet, as to maybe his diet isn't.
See, he can't just leave it there, can he? He can't say, you know, he passed, well done, it was great to see. He has obviously a good all-round athletic approach to life, you know, so he's got strength, he's got conditioning, he's got stamina, he can do these things, he's got a good healthy lifestyle going, but he can't leave it there, can he? He has to get in there at the end. Oh, but I think he eats like crap, he eats shit, oh, his diet's really bad. This guy saying someone's diet's bad, I mean the irony. But he can't just commend someone, he can't just say good things about someone, he has to give you a shit sandwich, you know, two nice things with a load of shit in the middle.
I know there's a lot of discussion about the guy's diet, as to maybe his diet isn't necessarily always healthy or fit, and there's a lot of things going on with that, a lot of rumors, a lot of speculation, as to maybe what he uses to keep at a lower body fat while doing that. That's neither here nor there. Again, as a general rule, anyone who calls himself as a bodybuilder is enhanced, right? Doesn't matter. Anybody calls himself a bodybuilder on something, just be realistic about it. No such thing as a true natural bodybuilder who looks like they lift. They're very, 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 very rare. They're very rare.
Bring it. I will fucking end you.
I mean, I'm lost for words. I mean, this guy is so disgusting, inside and out. I mean, he is really probably the most repulsive person and personality on YouTube. I mean, he really is vile, inside and out. Jealous, envious, despises everyone because they are more successful than him. And when you're right at the bottom of the food chain, you're a bottom feeder like this guy, bottom feeder in every way. Everyone else is above you. This is where his hate comes from. I mean, absolutely vile, horrible, horrible person. Nothing positive to say about anyone, and even if he does, it just instantly turns vile and negative. I mean, this guy is just absolutely, just disgusting human being.
They exist. But again, they're pretty much a minority. Most natural bodybuilders that you think of who are true natural bodybuilders, even if they compete, are really small. They're not particularly jacked. Think Eric Helms, right? Perfect example. So the point is, at least in terms of overall fitness, conditioning, things like that, Matty's doing pretty decent, and I think he proved it on here. Now, the other thing, I had someone ask me who did send it to me. They're like, well, we didn't see their actual run, so we don't know for sure. It's like...
All right, I'm going to leave it there because he just rambles on about their running now, saying, oh, you know, you don't want to watch him run for half an hour or something like that. Something that this thing couldn't ever do. I mean, he can't even run a bar.
I trained at the farm at Langley.
So anyway, let's see what a real power athlete looks like then, shall we? And this is where he's complaining again that his back is aching, his lower back.
It's like I start accumulating fatigue really, really quick. especially when you're doing volume with something like this, a strict row. And I'm using that medium grip right now. I'll eventually go to the wider grip, but right now I'm just trying to get that little.
Do you think these guys, I mean, imagine these guys who actually train and work out. Imagine them watching one of Blaha's workouts. Is one of his dynamic workouts, dynamic effort workouts with accessories. I mean, it's just childlike. Look, you can see a bit of the stubble coming through there because it's completely bald on top. So you can see the stubble around the side, just something that caught my eye. Completely bald on top because he's getting lazy. He hasn't shaved his head. Anyway, but listen to him complaining about his lower back aching.
Fuck this gay for pay faggot. Fuck him.
From that, but it's working. I do feel my back. I feel my biceps. I feel my rear delts. All those things that I need to work. They're getting worked effectively here, but I'm doing it without any extra stress on my lower back. My lower back has all I can handle. Yeah, I'm doing the standing presses a little bit, but my lower back is getting crampy when I bench. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that I deadlift in Good Morning the day before first.
My lower back is getting crampy, guys. It's getting crampy. I mean, let's have a look at this thing trying to work out. I mean,
so again, I could feel kind of fatigued today. It's all kind of mounting up. All right, this set I'll watch. Let's see what the speed looks like here. Again, the end of the training week, and we go to just GPP work and ab work. And
G4P work.
So again, I could feel kind of fatigued today. It's all kind of mounting up. All right.
He feels fatigued today. Do you want some soup with them rolls, Blaha? You want some soup with them rolls? You know, this guy saying, you know, questioning or criticising anyone's training is just beyond a joke. I mean, what he calls training with all his fake plates and his, you know, silly chains, smoke and mirror lifts and all this stuff, he doesn't train conventionally. There's no way of questioning or finding out whether, you know, just how much fake weight he's using. He won't ever let anyone come into this place here. I wouldn't personally want to go into that place. It's a health hazard. Anyway, so that is my ranty video on the glory hole hunter, Jason Blaha, talking about these guys, saying that they're out of shape. I guarantee this guy could never do anything near an army test, even if you take out the running. Anyway, guys, I hope that was informative. Please like, subscribe, share, tell a friend, tell a family. Down below, write a comment. Yeah, write a comment, please, because you know, let me know what you think about this clown, the clown of YouTube. Because, you know, the more you watch him, I mean, the more it frustrates you. And until next time, I'm going to be out of here. Woo!
Hey, fuck this Haji. I'm going to shoot him in the gut at 300 yards and let him bleed out for a little while. And then when he's too weak to fight back, me and my friends are going to go pick him up and have a little fun with him and make him fucking talk before we feed him to the pigs.